sorcery! Damn.
With the help of the half-demon malady, the Godwoken escaped through the veil that separates life from death.
The air here has a familiar smell, like the place you grew up. Old memories begin to well within you, but the sweet decay suddenly punctures them. Faint creaking sounds in the distance.
A tree? What's hanging from it? Must be a way across. Are those the gods? What's wrong with them?
Ever-tightening cursed branches constrict the great dwarven god Duna. His eyelids flutter, and his face, bluish and bloated, nods. Ralik hangs limp from the tree, cursed branches constricting him, snake-like from foot to shoulders. His helmeted head hangs slack at his side, but a barely audible wheeze rasps from his lips. Hurry! Ralik hangs his helmet. Hurry! Amadia hangs before you, her face cut and bruised, her chest barely moving. You think you see a tear run down her cheek. You lean in. That's no tear. It's sauce. The shimmering liquid is seeping from her wounds and dripping to the ground below her. Before you hangs a great ethereal orc, his face twisted in a knot of pain as cursed tendrils constrict him. A small, stout imp winces under the countless cursed threads that bind her. Tight coils wrap Tyr Sendelius from head to foot. His still face is set to a glowering sneer. Cursed tendrils tighten around Solstiça. Her lips are moving, but no words seem able to escape her lips.
What are you up to now, my dear? Better to leave those lost souls be. They can't help us. You look scared. Why are you scared? The gods are indisposed. This is our hour. Soon enough, we'll become divine. But of course, you're Godwoken after all. To ascend is your birthright. And now that you and I are joined, it's mine too. The gods are on the decline. There's room at the top. We ought to be grateful that fool of Aleutian squandered his chance.
Its iridescent eyes change shape and flash with greenish flames. It clenches its fists, and the dreaded feeling inside you wells. It's trying to seize control. Suddenly, the feeling vanishes. The figure relaxes.
That hurts me, you know. I do all I can for you. I give you every power available to me. I make you great. But it doesn't matter. I will continue to care for you, to love you, no matter what you think. Call it what you want. The point is, we are bound together, forever. The sooner you get used to that, the greater we will become. You feel it, don't you? That burning cold. That's the void. It's coming here. It's coming for the gods. And it'll come for you too. This isn't the moment for making enemies. Remember that. What's happened here? Where is everyone?
The same troubled look is visible on each face. You've seen the gods beaten and defiled, strung up as a warning.
The gods are dead. Long live the Godwoken. If the Seven should indeed come to nothing, I'll be ready to take their place.
I had dreams of what I should say if I saw the Seven Lords once more. But that was a nightmare.
What can yet be blessed can yet be restored. One way or another, divinity will survive. Through all of you, and all of me.
Quite right. Do seek my counsel. I highly... It was all a bit ominous, wasn't it? With the divine dead and divinity itself dying. It seems we have no choice but to venture forth and, for lack of a better phrase, save the world. Bit of a bother, if you ask me. I had other plans entirely for the weekend. Why sail for the mainland?
Thane nods as you approach. He seems unusual.
I don't know. But after everything that's happened, we should not be here. This place feels like the echo of an eternal land. And here, in their own land, something tried to hang the Seven. It's sacrilege at best, and I do not want to see what it is at its worst. I must admit, I'm more worried than I was. I thought this would be a slice of cake, to be quite honest. After all, I am an energetic, fresh-faced skeleton, teaming up with the lady-turned-goddess Ermadia. What force could stop two Eternals? Whatever form this void takes, it seems significantly more dangerous than I assumed.
What I have seen is a cautionary tale. The world needs a divine, I grant you that, but look at what a god may be reduced to. A soul aquiver with fear. Lost, alone, and forsaken.
is everybody?
Hidden away somewhere, safe from the storm, I hope.
Not a soul down here. Just stillness.
People are going to perish. People are going to die, and I can't stop it. She'll do it now. She'll never stop. She'll never stop.
Ifan's spirit stares at you, seemingly through you. There is neither affection nor blame in his expression. He gives no sign of seeing you. Ifan's eyes flicker rapidly from side to side, as if trying to take in an expansive sight. He whispers, Gleku Duma, over and over, and suddenly you seem to hear the chattering of thousands of elven voices in the distance. Then, before your eyes, his spirit dissolves into the sound, his own voice joining the cacophony that you can hear. That you could hear, for now no sound remains. All is calm.
For security.
People are going to... She'll do it now.
Where have you been? I can't keep this up much longer. We need to go. There's no time. I can't hold us here. Brace yourself. This might hurt. A lot.
The chill of the Hall of Echoes clung to the Lady Vengeance as it returned to the shores of Reaper's Coast. The Godwoken were alive, but what of the gods?
Solid ground materializes beneath your feet. Your weight falls back into your body all at once, and bright sunlight stings your eyes. As your eyes adjust, you realize you're still aboard the Lady Vengeance. A gust of fresh sea air caresses you, and warm sunshine prickles your skin.
Oh, one moment, please. Oh, just a moment.
Malady explodes in a fit of retching that racks her body. At last, she sneezes and expels a glob of something shiny and silver onto the deck. It wriggles quickly off the siding and plummets into the sea with a splash.
Better. Let's not do that again anytime soon. Well, we needed to escape, didn't we? So I took us the one place I was quite certain Dallas couldn't follow. I suppose you recognized the Hall of Echoes from those visions you'd had before. Realm of the dead, realm of divinity. I do hope you learned something useful on our little field trip. Condition? What do you mean? I see. So, the gods were bound and cursed by the void, and the thing inside you, the very powerful thing inside you, told you you need to become the next divine. Well then, it sounds like you need to ascend, doesn't it? And quickly.
She inspects her fingernails with great attention, then looks up at you from under an arched eyebrow.
Did it mention how you were meant to become the next divine? Well, luckily for you, Mama Malady is here to help. We already know you can bless, but as far as I know, you can neither see source nor take it as you see fit. I may not know much about divinity, but I do know that any Godwoken worth their salt will know how to perform all these so fantastic feats. You need to go see the Meister. As have I, but not in the ways a true Godwoken can. Forget those ghastly little jars and wands to which small people must resort. You ought to be able to see and speak to the spirits that wander our realm, and you ought to be able to extract the source they leave behind, too. All this just by your little old onesie. No devices, no gimmicks. When you're done, you'll be able to amass and unleash quantities of source so great that Lucian himself would blush. I quite look forward to seeing it. She's got one of those things in Driftwood, you know, the building where people go and they do things inside of it. Home, that's it. She's got a home in Driftwood. Give me your map. There you are. Tell her I sent you and she'll handle the rest. You're at the beginning of a long journey, Godwoken. Long, but exceedingly interesting. Now, I must be going. and so must you. Why, our faithful little sloop, of course. We can all ride together. Won't that be terribly fun? Shopping. One more word, Lohse. I'm concerned about you. Other Godwoken meet with one of the seven. You've been meeting up with an apparition from your own mind. That isn't good. To choose just one from such a vast ocean of possibilities. But the matter at hand. There's a fellow I'd like you to seek out. He might be able to help you. Last I heard, he's on business outside the Blood Moon Island to the north of Driftwood. He's a demonologist, Jehan by name. Good luck, Lohse. You'll certainly need it. If I'm not back by the time you find out where our journey takes us next, you can call me back here. Tell the ship. She'll know how to summon me. And in the unlikely case you don't manage to do whatever it is you'll need to do to become what you need to become, you could call me, but I would be grateful if it doesn't come to that.
And I think it's time to start repaying the favours. I could fetch some stuff you need, maybe. Ma always said I was a great runner. Sure thing. I'll start hunting that down right away. Don't wait up.
Hail, friend, and remember, in Lucian's love there could be no wrong. Paradise awaits, my friend. Not an actual paradise, of course. I don't think there's such a place in all of Rivellon. Paradise Downs. My parents still sow the soil there. And if the Order hadn't called me to its ranks, I'd still call their farm my home. I miss it. I miss them. They've been forever understanding of my duty. But I admit, I've been neglectful. I have some wrongs to right.
I expect Malady has an answer to that. It seems she's got it all in hand.
Only as often as I need his guidance, Godwoken. When I invoke Lucian's words, I invoke his deeds too. He stood for the defenseless when the Black Ring rose up. For all of us. For my mother, my father.
Gareth's nostalgia lasts for just a moment longer. He composes himself, clears his throat, and waits for your next question.
Hail, friend, and remember... She's something. I question Siva's trust in her, but Malady's usefulness is self-evident. As Lucian said, you will be eternally gifted when you act in my name. Only as often as when I invoke
Gareth's nostalgia.
Paradise awaits. Not an actual. I miss it.
I expect Malady.
Hail. She's something, all right. I question Siva's trust in her, but Malady's usefulness is only as when I invoke
Gareth's nostalgia.
She's something, all right. I question.
Warriors for hire, all seasoned in combat. They won't let you down. I've plenty of fighters for hire. Expert. Oh, I see you have a full contingent already. Then I'll leave you be.
I hadn't realized I was in such illustrious company when we met before. Most fascinating, the things I've been hearing about you. That you're, how did Malady put it again? A Godwoken. Yes, that's it. Quite remarkable if it's true.
Tarquin pauses, taking you in. Genial smile and calculating eyes.
You make me sound so mercenary. No, I'm merely pleased to learn that my new friend has such great things awaiting her in the future. Both wise and well-mannered. You'll go far, I'm sure. I do hope I get to watch. Why, it was your ally, Malady, who spared me. She claimed that I might be of some use yet. Rather flattering to enjoy the favor of such a powerful being. You honor me with your repeat. You must be one of the...
He extends his hand to you. It's clad in a curious-looking metal gauntlet, the likes of which you haven't seen before.
I am Tarquin. Consider me at your service. I'm something of a polymath, if you'll pardon the hot air. Inventing, healing, perhaps a little magic from time to time. Until recently, I was a prisoner of Dallis. But now, thanks to your daring do, I am a free man. And that you're, how did Malady put it again? A Godwoken. Yes, that's it. Quite remarkable if it's true. I'm sure we'll be close friends.
Tarquin pauses, taking you in. Genial smile and calculating eyes.
Most people are too sentimental to admit that friendship is a transaction. I am not. I'm sure we can both be of use to each other.
If Tarquin is offended, it doesn't register on his face.
I'm sure you'll come to warm to me. Consider my full attention yours whenever you need it. Why, it was your ally, Malady, I hadn't realized I was in such illustrious company when we met before. Most fascinating, the things I've... That you're, how did Malady put it again? Come now. You've seen the state of things. A potential savior from all this void-woken nonsense would be of interest to everyone with a beating heart. And some without, I would imagine. We all have secrets. Do I oblige you to spill your heart to me? No, I do not. Besides, you make me sound so mercenary. No. I'm merely pleased to learn that my new friend has such great things awaiting him in the future. How bracing and honest of you. But everything in moderation, eh? I don't think I could take a scolding from the world's potential savior too frequently.
type of companion you need, I can provide.
Reaper's Coast lies nearby. You are ready to the wood. I am different. I think and feel. It is the work of Freedman. Dallas wanted more than a ship. So Freedman used source magic to keep me alive as I was torn apart and rebuilt. He made me feel every moment of agony, then marked my wood with a slave scar. When I was an ancestor tree, the mother tree demanded loyalty also, but at least I was one of many. Now I am alone.
You can put a price on the warriors I have for hire, but you can't put a price on the glory they'll win.
As you approach, the silent monk puffs a bit of air from between her stitched lips. She seems agitated.
Just when I think this... Still.
The silent monk leans from one foot to the other. He seems eager to move. A dying shark lies gasping on the sand, bleeding from the mouth and gills. It turns its dark and soulless eyes to you. Its bloody gills open in search of water, but find only air. It gasps in the air, struggling for the breath to speak. Its own blood froths at its mouth.
No! Die here! Monsters in the water! Monsters in the deep! Monsters bigger! More and more growing!
It summons the energy to snap at you.
No, I can't. Oh, monsters in the water. Monsters in the deep.
It looks at you with its cold, flat eyes as if to say, do what you will. Then it turns away and gets back to drowning in the bloody sunshine. It looks at you with its cold, flat...
Yes, by all means, let us partake in the...
Just when I think there's still. At least this is an interest.
Quite right. Do seek my counsel. I highly recommend it.
He sighs, rather dramatically.
Oh, perhaps that's because I don't quite enjoy broaching the subject, if I must. The long and short of it is that I was banished because I was found in bed with a demon. Do you really think I'd be so incredulously stupid as to deal with them? No, I merely summoned them for my amusement. You clearly have a hard time understanding all this, so let me paint you a picture. I am a prince of the House of War. There are others with that title, but none of them are the Red Prince, the jewel in the crown of the Empire. I lived in the Forbidden City, a vast complex of palaces that houses the royal family and its servants. No others are allowed to enter it. As for myself, I was never allowed out. That is the price I paid for my genius. I was too valuable to be exposed to the dangers of the outside world. All the wars I won, and I won them all, of course, I won from the comfort of sofas. Bring me information, and I will deduct, then instruct. From amid the ultimate opulence of my quarters, I had it all. And, frankly, I got bored. You miss the point. I did not suffer the boredom of some spoiled brat. Mine was the absolute absence of challenge. The longing not simply to watch the horizon, but to journey towards it. If I could not experience the joys of the world beyond, I had to bring the world to me. Miraculous what a sorcerer can do with a little arcane lore. I summoned demons, the most dangerous game in the world. But they knew they met their match in me, and so we conversed. We drank wine, we played chess. Converse with demons, and you learn of the shadows behind creation. Drink wine with them, and you have visions of worlds beyond worlds. Play chess, and you know that one wrong move is certain death. My mind rejoiced. Now for the body, I reasoned, so with a certain succubus I spent nights that would surpass your understanding. No, Lohse. I'm not a little songbird as easily caught as your good self. I spent a whole year in the company of demons every night atop the white library tower of my palace. It was my great study of existence. It was my supreme joy, even if...
He gives you a long, respectful look.
How unexpectedly shrewd you are. What happened next was simply unforeseen. One moonless night, the succubus that was my lover turned to me, fangs exposed. But I could tell from the glint in her eyes she wasn't bent on our usual fang play. There was no light in that glint. It was the darkness of the void. And in short, I was afraid. I tried to move away, but it was too late. She was upon me. She had done it. She had outmaneuvered the Red Prince. Finally, I was vanquished. Oh, yes. Do allow me to explain.
The Red Prince regales you with an unsettlingly graphic description of what you consider to be a rather eccentric, if not aberrant, form of sexual gratification.
But of course that was all still rather innocent. I could tell you all about something truly special some other time if you like. Something to look forward to? Now where was I? Ah yes, the succubus. She went for my neck, quick as a charging cobra, but then suddenly it's as if time ground to a halt. Something deep inside me welled up, a power I never knew I had. She simply froze under my stare. Then she screamed. A scream so abhorrent its ripples caused birds to fall dead from the sky. People covered their ears in vain as they went insane. The Imperial Guard forced itself into my chambers and found me with the succubus still on top of me. I believe the phrase is caught red-handed. At first, I admit it was all rather tiring. I was, after all, marched out of my own empire, and I've been hounded by the odd assassin ever since. After that came the indignity of the collar and incarceration. But ever since we decided to be so bold as to bid our farewell to Fort Joy by any means... Oh, I could complain about the food and the lodgings and the sheer barbarity of the common folk. But in truth, all of that fits within the larger frame that is adventure. Adventure is precisely what my life was missing. I told you earlier I could tell you tales about what it was like to be a prince of the house. Tales that would last us 1,000 nights. That is true. But I'd much rather speak of the tale we are shaping now. Accompany me back to my empire and I'll tell them all in the palatial setting they deserve.
Speak. I was given my needle by the Master. Guess I'm just sentimental like that. Fine, if it means that much to you.
She draws her needle and holds it up between thumb and index finger.
Go on. Ever so gently touch the tip.
Barely have you touched the needle's pinpoint surface when a thick droplet of blood wells up from your fingertip.
Sharp little minx, isn't she? Sebille, this needle was forged in an altogether different world. It wasn't wrought upon a crude anvil hammered into shape with rough blows. No, it was cast with demon precision. It is absolutely priceless, and it's yours. The Master's own words. And he was right. As an instrument of assassination, it's absolutely priceless. But one day soon, he'll find out just how much he overspent on his gifts for little old me. Just one might say I'm a bit of a sucker for poetic justice. Ha! A tale of cloaks and daggers and daredevilry. You up for it? Wonderful.
She bows with thespian flair.
Imagine a black room. It's been your room for years. You know it by touch more than sight, for it's always dark. And when I say always dark, I mean always dark. You're either in the room or in the box, for it's in the box that you travel. You're only let out at night, because you only hunt in the night, with the Master's voice in your ears urging you. And after it's done, You lie down in the box once more, with wet hands and mad red thoughts. Sometimes it's best to let sleeping questions lie. The thing is, the box didn't break me, though I confess it taught me to hate. One night, I killed a scholar. With my needle through his fragile old skull, he fell headfirst upon his writing desk, blood mingling with spilt ink. It's when I saw the ink that timid thoughts of rebellion first bloomed. Back in my dark room, I dipped my needle that killed the scholar in his own ink, and engraved. I'd remember him. I'd honor him with vengeance. His name was the first, but many more followed. Of course.
She bares her left arm and shows you the name. You softly run your finger across it.
Mindarin. He was Turashar, a keeper of stories. I'm sure he was loved by many. People like him, the beloved dead, they kept me going. Then, one day, it happened. A gush of wind, a sliver of light. Light! I hardly knew it for what it was. A simple oversight that comes with habit. A door, left slightly ajar. That was all I needed to feel a rush of blood, a thirst for liberation like never before. I tore at the shackles that kept me chained to the floor, iron thick as a smith's wrists. Of course they wouldn't budge, they never did before. But now that I saw the light, something welled up inside me, a raw and undeniable burst of power. The shackles broke, and next thing I knew, I was free. I stood alone outside the ruins of a fortress, snow-capped peaks all around me. But the sun, oh, the sun. I had risen as if from the grave, and she kissed me back to life. Ain't over yet, honey.
What happened here?
the Reaper for me.
A Magister caravan. I remember one just like this picking me up. Could have been a shipment to Fort Joy. But what happened here?
Can't be real. Not real. Not happening.
White as driftwood salt, the dwarf flinches at your approach, yet she holds a short, clean blade aloft. Her fierce stance can't hide the trembling of her fingers.
Back! Back! Magister, I'll kill you, just like the rest of them!
She slumps, all bravado draining from her.
No. I've never seen anything like those beasts before. Are they gone?
Her eyes widen and lose focus, as though she's seeing something played out before them. Her voice is shaky when she speaks.
Those? Yes. Worst ones I've ever seen. Ripped through the Magisters. The dwarves. Dead. 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 And the sorcerers. Sorcerers. Gone.
Her eyes stare vacantly into the distance, glassy as marbles. It's not cold, yet her shivering is relentless.
I don't know. I don't know. Old Duna's beard. Lohar. My boss Lohar will want to know what happened to them, but I can't remember. Her helping sorcerers. We thought we could help them against the Magisters, but... No. No, I don't know. I don't know. Oh, Seven Sympathy. I saw those things, dragging the sorcerers along the cliffs, towards the Wreckers' caves. No more. It's gone.
She flinches at the slightest rustle of wind through the long grass. Terror in her... She stumbles away from you.
Yes, by all means, let...
The angelic figure stands upon a mosaic that depicts a dragon, or a leviathan. Your body is still, but your soul floats upwards. You see yourself when you look down, content, safe.
Sound promising, does it?
Looky here, Bugs.
Makes my bones itch.
The little boy lobs a stone across the river. It makes a long arc before plunging into the water below.
Oh, Ma! Are you all right? Ma? Huh? Please, you have to help her. There was a fight. Some dwarves attacked some magisters, and there were sorcerers too. And then the bugs came. Those void things. They killed everyone. And my ma got 'em to chase her. And she went across the bridge. And then she raised the bridge and she told me to run. And now she's stuck over there with them. I'm not trying to stop them. Just distract them. When they finish whatever they're eating over there, I don't want them to start looking for Ma. She's in our house. But I bet that won't keep them out. You will. Maybe you can cross the river then. Ma lifted the bridge, but there's got to be another way, right? Yeah. You'll make one, and I'll...
His gaze shoots to the ground. He grabs a small flat pebble and chucks it across the river. Again, it lands in the water below, well before reaching the other side of the cliffs.
I'll keep distracting him. No way. Ma didn't leave me. I'm not leaving her.
He performs a divine order salute.
Now go out, Ma. You can find a way across, right? Looky here, you can find a way... Looky here, Bugs.
Did you hear? The eggs are gone. Gone for good. No one to keep them warm. No one to keep them safe. Not my eggs, our eggs. All the family, all the eggs, every last one. Big Marge, sir. Big Marge will tell you everything.
Yes, yes, you look just the type. Egg thief. I found the culprit. Tell that to Big Marge, if you dare.
Just when I think this still.
You, the one who's not a thief, right?
Where are they?
Just when I think this land still.
You, where are
This again.
Be grateful that you don't feel the need. The kid is whistling an off-key tune as he strolls about shiftily. He raises an eyebrow at your approach, but says nothing.
Ain't up to out. Just looking for someone. Seen Ben Mesd. Ooh. Baron won't like that. Won't like that one little bit.
The kid shoves his hands in his pockets and ambles off, resuming his tuneless whistling. The kid is whistling an off-key tune as he strolls about shiftily. He raises an eyebrow at your approach, but says nothing. The kid is whistling an off...
Ain't up to out. Just looking for someone. Seen too bad.
The kid shoves his hands in his pockets and ambles off, resuming his tuneless whistling. Be grateful that you don't feel the need. The kid is whistling an...
Ain't up to out. Seen too bad.
The kid shoves his hand... Be grateful that you don't feel the need.
Eggy, gone. Help! Help, Marge! Marge knows.
Did you expect a needle?
Just when I think still.
Go ahead.
Eggs? Find eggs?
You, whereof? You, whereof?
Ah. Eggs? Find eggs?
Hell no. You know what Raymond would do if he caught us?
Yeah.
Get yourself in check, boy. I won't have you running off like Millicent and Tully. You'll just end up sliding down some Voidwoken's gross gullet, piece by piece.
The older-looking Magister notices your presence. He wipes his grubby hands downward across his greaves, as if to wipe away the grime, but instead smears more dirt onto them.
Halt! What word do you bring?
His face goes pale, and his eyes open wide. The Magister that greeted you remains stiff, as if enduring a harsh wind.
The Voidwoken come.
Hush, Fader. You may pass, traveller. Dare say you'll be aching to leave before long anyway. But before you do, find Raymond, the White Magister. He'll want to know what you've seen. Be quick, mind. He's set to sail any moment.
He nods his head in the direction of the bridge, but offers no other instructions.
As long as you stay put, you'll be safe. Speak. Driftwood is most of the same as every other fishing town. It's got the same aroma and the same herds of unwashed dwarves. The Void, though, it's closing in. Voidwoken roam the land and pollute the sea. That they haven't invaded the town it's a miracle. Speak.
The Magister smiles, but he does not make eye contact with you. He shifts his weight from the left foot to the right.
Thank the Seven I've Aldous to guide me in these times. He allows me to borrow a bit of courage from him when I need. It's true, what you say. My belly's as yellow as a canary, but when the hammer comes calling, you don't refuse. It's only a matter of time, you know? Outside Driftwood, not even the sharpest blades can protect us from those things. Inside, a Magister killer roams. Our numbers dwindle. I'm hardly fit to protect. I only hope to survive. I know they disappear without a sign. Magister Carver's looking into it, but it's been so long since we've talked, a dwarf could have grown 3 beards by now. Farewell. I wait for the inevitable, whatever that might be.
Get yourself in check, boy. I won't have you running off like Millicent and Tully. You'll just end up sliding down some Voidwoken's gross gullet.
The older-looking Magister...
Halt! What word do you bring?
Have you seen signs of battle? Did you encounter our Magister brothers and sisters?
The younger one's face goes pale, and his eyes widen. The other remains stiff, as if bracing himself against an unseen wind.
The Voidwoken come.
Hush, Fader. You may pass, traveller. Dare say you'll be aching to leave before... Be quick, mind.
He nods his head. The Magister...
Thank the Seven I've Aldous. It's only a matter of time, you know? Outside Driftwood, not even the sharpest blades can protect us from those... things. Inside, a killer roams. One with a Magister grudge, it seems. Our numbers dwindle. I'm hardly fit to protect. I only hope to survive. I know they disappear without a sign. Magister Carver's looking into it, but it's been so long since we've talked, a dwarf could have grown 3 beards by now. Farewell.
As long as you stay put, you'll be safe. Speak. Get yourself in check.
The older-looking...
Halt, elf. What word do you bring? Word of battle? Word of our Magister brothers and sisters? What can you tell us?
Both men remain stiff.
The Voidwoken.
Hush, Vader. Be quick, mate.
He nods it. Welcome to Driftwood.
There's no unaffected faith behind them. Perhaps there's still a chance.
Greet the Reaper for me.
There you are, little egg.
You Voidwoken? Our babies? Why, that's unspeakable! All of them?
Why, that's Peeper. Let me get a good look. Yes, I couldn't mistake it. That's Marge's favourite egg. She'll be wanting him back right away.
Go on, you. Give Marge her little Peeper. Oh, I can't wait to see the look on her face.
Eggs? Find eggs? Gone. Marge's egg.
Go on, you.
I saw. They were stolen. The babies, the eggs. Something took them. Transform. Not a chicky baby anymore. All gone. All gone for good.
She leaps up and grabs the egg with her foot, kicking it under her warm underbelly and settling down upon it contentedly.
Shh, little Peeper baby. Mama's here, warm and here with you again.
She cocks a black eye up at you and winks.
Thank you. I have something for you. Something I buried behind the coop. It's yours. It's yours. Unless some other scratchily poker found it first, of course. You helped us. You brought the baby back.
Did you expect a needle? Did you expect a needle?
What's this? I found something.
Egg to Margie.
The kid is whistling and...
Why would I kill Lucien's second most charming son?
A fly buzzes around the dwarf's mutilated head. For a moment it lands, crawls across his open eye and takes off again. The silent watcher does not blink. A fly buzzes. The lizard hangs from the gibbet, her face blooded and her scales discoloured. Her eyes are closed, but her tongue flickers as you approach.
Welcome to Driftwood, Godwoken.
One bloody eye cracks open, glittering gold appearing from beneath the swollen lid.
Chased you all the way here from Fort Joy, did they? Very well then, cut me down. Or indeed you could stand there like a stage-struck peasant. If you're waiting for me to applaud and cry encore, you may be disappointed. I'm in no position to clap.
The Meister bares her teeth, stained a deep pink by her blood.
Malady is unfortunately mistaken. I cannot train you, but I can certainly help you on your path, as long as I am free of this rope. Because along with torture and interrogation, the Magisters found space in their schedules to purge me, that's why. They spent quite some time at it, too. Apparently I was a rich vein to be mined, and now I hang powerless as any butchered carcass. They stopped the process just as the last of my power drained away. Just enough to rob me of my strength, but not enough to leave me a hollow sack of flesh and scale. I had hoped they simply wished to preserve my charm and beauty, but no. It seemed Dallis had ordered that I be held until she could do the deed herself. To give it the personal touch, I imagine. Now that you have had that that delightful little nugget of gossip, perhaps you could do your damn job and let me loose?
The lizard grimaces, shifting awkwardly as she dangles.
I am in intense pain. You are either insufferably cruel or insufferably stupid. Insufferably cruel? How charming. It was obvious, Godwoken. You are whippet thin, implying you've been a captive. Your wrists have seen the sun, but your neck has not, so you sported a collar, not shackles. Thus you escaped Fort Joy. After an escape, any sane creature would rest, but the bags under your eyes indicate you haven't. Why not? You must have been chased. Thus you must have been important. No one important escapes a prison without help, and no one frees sorcerers bar the Seekers. They thought you were worth saving, and thus I surmise you are Godwoken. Now, an important person does not come to Driftwood unless they seek someone even more important than themselves, so I further surmise you are here for me and will help me down. Now!
A slow, pained grin spreads across the lizard's face. Her tongue flickers.
Not quite as stupid as I imagined. I am head of the Seekers, girl. I can taste your sauce. It wafts about you like honeysuckle on the breeze. Now, if you would be so kind, my bonds.
The Meister bares her teeth, stained.
Malady is unfortunately mistaken. I cannot train you, but I can certainly help. Be quick about it, before the Magister realizes their prize catch is about to slip through the net. What are you waiting for? Do it, damn you! If they find out what you are, you'll be blessed to end up hanging beside me. Where are you going? No, come back! Damn you! Well, have you found time? By the Seven, where are you going? Get me down! You poor dwarf. Do you even know what they've done to you? Well, have you found time in your busy schedule to do your duty and release me? By the Seven, where are you?
A Magister guard approaches. Behind her, on the gallows, two lizards, One, in a Magister uniform, hangs dead from her neck. The other hangs from her hands, still alive.
Step away from the prisoner! She's hanging by her hands because the boss don't want her dead just yet. She's a tough one, Meister Seaver. She's a seeker, and she's a bloody traitor. She was part of the Order. Knew Alexander personally. Alexander trusted her, at least as far as you can trust a lizard. To repay that trust, the Meister gave Alexander up to his enemies. She wasn't there when Alexander fell, but White Magister Raymond uncovered the truth. She's as guilty as any of them, and I reckon she got off lightly. I'd have had her flayed alive with a salted bullwhip. Move along there now. That's internal order business. You'd do well to leave it alone. Let's just say Zeus and there was of help to sorcerers, and leave it at that. You're going to... what, now? She betrayed Alexander. I'd sooner die than free her. Move along there now. That your gut. She betrayed Alexander. I'd sooner die than free her.
Do you even know?
I ain't buying that without an order from Julian or Raymond himself. Think I'll leave the prisoner right here for the time. Nothing to say here, you insult me. Why, I wouldn't do it for an entire... All right then, done. But... You're going... She betrayed Alexander. I'd sooner die than free her.
Do you even know what
I'll regret this, I know I will. All right. I'll stand aside.
Well, have you found time? Be quick about it. Who knows when that Magister might return? What are you waiting for? Do it, damn you! If they find out what? Where are you going? No, come back! Damn you! Well, be quick about it. Who knows when that Magister... What are you waiting for? What?
The lizard hangs.
Welcome to...
One bloody eye
Taste. Or, indeed, you could stand there gulping as if I just ran off with your feet. By the seven, where are you going? Get me... Well, be quick about it. Who knows when... God's teeth, it feels good to move again. Now, best scurry off before that Magister wanders back. Meet me at my home in Driftwood, and we can see what you're made of.
Speak.
The silent monk, like every other, has nothing to say. The silent monk's stitched lips are the color of sea ice. The monk has no response to your stick or your scream, unless you count its head's nigh imperceptible rhythmic sway as a response. It stares straight ahead at nothing in particular.
This town looks peaceful enough. Let's find out if looks deceive.